future San Tin Technopole is estimated to add some $250 billion to the economy each year and add 300,000 jobs. Travel firm sees reduced interest in Japan tours, even though the Hong Kong dollar is trading at strong rates against the yen. And China tells Japan to behave properly and dismisses its call for talks as their relations remain sour. Good evening. You're watching Cable News. I'm Jeremy Zhu. The government has outlined development blueprints for the San Tin Technopole, with the first phase to take 10 years to complete. The technology hub is expected to contribute $250 billion or more to Hong Kong's economic growth annually and create over 300,000 full-time jobs. Jamie Liu reports.
At a press conference, Secretary for Innovation, Technology and Industry Sun Dong unveiled the development strategies, layout and timeline for the San Tin Technopole. As a flagship project in the northern metropolis, the technology city will span 210 hectares and sit next to the Hong Kong Park of the He-Tao Cross-Border Technology Zone. The Innovation and Technology Hub will focus on three areas: provide space for prototyping, pilot production, and small-scale manufacturing, develop high-quality local I&T industries, and pool global I&T resources and talent. The Technopole will be divided into different zones reserved for industries such as life and health technology, artificial intelligence and robotics, microelectronics, new materials, and new energy. It will also leave a strategic white space for emerging technologies in the future. Beginning this year, the first phase of the project will be developed in 5 stages until 2035, gradually bringing in companies, top research institutions, while constructing supporting facilities. The government estimated the Technopole to add at least $250 billion to the city's GDP annually and provide over 300,000 full-time jobs upon full operation. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
The Japanese yen has weakened further, with 100 yen exchanging for less than $1, back to its January level, which was one of the lowest against the Hong Kong dollar this year. However, a travel agency has recently observed lukewarm interest in Japan tours, despite the favorable exchange rates, while local holidaymakers are opting for different destinations. Jamie Liu has the story.
As the holiday season approaches, many Hong Kongers are planning overseas trips, with Japan typically one of their favorite destinations. Unlike previous tourism frenzies taking advantage of a weaker yen, China-Japan tensions and growing bear attacks in the country appear to have impacted travel enthusiasm. A resident said Japan is not currently his top choice to spend his holiday, as he worried about unforeseen situations. But the woman was unbothered by the recent circumstances, saying traveling should be relaxing and free of stress. Another resident was not interested in going to Japan, saying he can enjoy hot spring baths in the mainland too. Speaking to iCable News, Yun Chen-ning, executive director of travel agency WWPKG, said he observed a reduced interest in trips to Japan. After Beijing issued a travel warning against Japan over the weekend, Yun saw inquiries for Japan tours dropped by 10 to 20% on Monday. Regarding the recent yen drop, Yun dismissed it as short-term fluctuations, saying it would not be a major driving factor unless the currency slides further below 4.5. Citing the travel alert issued by the Foreign Ministry and the SL government, Cathay Pacific, HK Express, and Greater Bay Airlines said if customers need to change their flight plans due to various circumstances, the company will handle as flexibly as possible and provide assistance. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
Meanwhile, Beijing escalated its diplomatic standoff with Tokyo by publicly rejecting Japan's call for talks and postponing a trilateral ministerial meeting in its latest rebuke, as it continues to demand the Japanese Prime Minister retract her wrongful remarks on Taiwan. Quentin Yang has more details.
日本领导人公然发表极其错误的涉台言论。
In Beijing, Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Mao Ning confirmed there are no plans for Premier Li Qiang to meet San Tin Technopole, urging Tokyo to behave with proper self-restraint. This followed a statement from Japan's Chief Cabinet Secretary Minoru Kihara yesterday, who reiterated Tokyo's openness to dialogue. Mao also confirmed China has cancelled a scheduled trilateral ministerial meeting with South Korea and Japan, a forum initially established to foster regional integration. She stated that the top Japanese officials' comments on Taiwan had undermined the foundation and atmosphere for such cooperation, making the meetings temporarily unsuitable. On the trade front, China maintains a strict ban on Japanese seafood. Mao Ning stated Japan has failed to provide necessary technical materials, a prerequisite for resuming imports. She also reiterated that, even if they did, public anger would ensure there would be no market for the products. Chinese authorities have detained the first shipment of Japanese seafood sent under June's conditional import agreement, citing insufficient radioactive testing. In Japan, Kihara denied receiving a suspension notice, stating that technical consultations are ongoing and expressing hope for China's cooperation. Japanese ruling coalition officials called for a calm response from within the government, with one leader stressing that he does not want civilian trade to be affected. Quentin Yang, Cable News.
In other news, the Independent Commission Against Corruption has obtained arrest warrants for 2 men accused of using online posts to urge a boycott of the upcoming Legislative Council election, following 3 arrests for reposting the contents. The 2 men and 1 woman aged between 55 and 66 arrested by ICAC last Friday have appeared at West Kowloon Magistrates Courts this afternoon. They are suspected of separately sharing posts by Alan Kang and Tong Wai Hong, which are alleged to have incited others not to vote. The case has been adjourned until January 15th next year. While the 3 were granted bail, they are barred from leaving the city in the interim. The creators of the posts, 34-year-old Kang and 44-year-old Tong, have reportedly left Hong Kong. Tong was previously acquitted of rioting charges in connection with the 2019 Shanwan clashes. Meanwhile, Kang is among the activists for whom a $200,000 bounty has been offered. He is wanted for his involvement in a Canada-based group, Hong Kong Parliament, which the SAR government has declared a subversive organization. A fire broke out in a Kwai Chung public housing unit this morning, prompting hospital treatment for a teenage boy who suffered smoke inhalation. His 46-year-old aunt was arrested for child negligence. The 14-year-old victim was cautious but was given an oxygen mask to assist with his breathing as he was sent to hospital. The incident occurred at around 7 a.m. at a low-level flat in Block 8 of Kwai Shing West Estate, which suddenly caught fire and was filled with smoke. Firefighters wearing breathing apparatus arrived at the scene, forced entry into the flat, and rescued the teenager. They then used a hose reel to extinguish the blaze. Dozens of residents evacuated the building themselves during the incident. In a global first, humanoid robots equipped with embodied artificial intelligence learning technology are now performing industrial tasks in a Shanghai facility, mastering new skills in minutes rather than months, with perfect execution accuracy. Quentin Yang tells us more.
This is not another big-budget sci-fi movie, but an everyday scene at this factory in Shanghai. The humanoid robots navigate the factory floor autonomously, their multi-jointed arms guided not by pre-written code, but by real-time AI, dart with uncanny precision. This breakthrough represents the world's first industrial application of embodied intelligence learning systems. The robots, developed by Shanghai-based HOYIBC, utilize real-world reinforcement learning technology, which slashes training times from original weeks or even months to just a few minutes. This leap is not just about speed. According to HOYIBC principal scientist Luo Zhenlan, it demands millimeter-level precision and a high-precision coordination system, allowing the robots to evolve from mere repetition to genuine autonomous learning. Meanwhile, a new language model from Beijing-based Robotera supercharges their ability to interpret instructions in real time. eliminating their previous dependence on manual coding. Paired with these software advances is a hardware revolution. Fitted with high-resolution tactile sensors, the robots can discern forces as minute as 0.05 newtons. This dexterity enables everything from precision assembly to using chopsticks to pick up soft tofu. The first batch of this dexterous hands is now in mass production in the mainland and set to roll out in the coming months. Quintin, Cable News.
The Louvre Museum in Paris has announced a major security overhaul, pledging to install 100 new surveillance cameras and anti-intrusion systems by the end of 2026. This upgrade comes in response to a multi-million euro jewelry heist that took place last month.
C'est une blessure immense qui nous a été infligée.
The museum's president and director, Laurence Descartes, stated that the large-scale makeover carried out in the 1980s is now outdated. The new security measures are designed not only to offer comprehensive protection for the museum's entire perimeter, but also to modernize the Louvre's infrastructure and to alleviate tourist overcrowding. Furthermore, the Louvre will strengthen its cooperation with the Paris police by establishing an advanced police station directly within the museum. The burglary occurred on the 19th of last month in the Galerie d'Apollon, which houses the French crown jewels and diamond collection. 8 pieces of jewelry were stolen. The Paris prosecutor's office revealed the stolen items were valued at 88 million euros. While several suspects have been arrested, the jewels themselves are still missing.
Global scientists are sounding the alarm on a hidden danger in our diets, linking a startling range of serious health conditions to the everyday foods that fill supermarket shelves and our kitchen cabinets, or what they term them, the ultra-processed food. Quintin Yang shares more.
What are the ultra-processed food? Think chips, packaged bread, and ready-to-eat meals, all of which now dominate diets in many countries. A simple rule of thumb from experts is that if a product contains more than 5 ingredients, it is probably ultra-processed. However, a coalition of global health experts has issued a stark warning about the significant threat these foods pose to public health. Recent research, encompassing studies on millions of people, consistently ties these industrial food products to an increased risk of at least 12 health problems, including heart disease, type 2 diabetes, obesity, depression, and anxiety. Experts explain that the harm stems from more than just their typically high levels of fat, sugar, and salt. The very process of industrial creation can strip away nutritional value, and the additives may interfere with our bodies in ways not yet fully understood, potentially harming gut health and causing inflammation. This combination makes them easy to overeat and hard to resist. In light of the evidence, scientists are urging governments worldwide to take stronger action. They suggest implementing public health policies, such as clear warning labels on packaging, restrictions on marketing, especially to children, and even taxation to curb consumption and safeguard population health. Quintin, Cable News.
Now let's take a look at the stock market. The Hang Seng Index ended the day up 4 points. Top active stocks of the day. Alibaba was down $1.60. Tencent was down $1.50. CATL was down $29 and PopMart was down $5.20. October's inflation rate slightly went up and was largely in check.
According to the latest official figures, the city's overall consumer prices rose by 1.2% last month, a slightly bigger increase than September's 1.1%. Netting out the effects of all one-off relief measures, the underlying inflation rate stayed at 1%. A government spokesman said overall inflation should stay muted in the near term, as domestic cost pressures are mild and external price pressures are subdued.
Onto the weather now. Mainly cloudy, cool tomorrow morning with a minimum temperature of about 16 degrees. Very dry with sunny periods during the day. The maximum temperature will be around 22 degrees. Now let's take a look at the weather around the world. That's our news tonight. I'm Jeremy Zhu. Thanks for watching. Good night.